How late am I? Like half an hour. My eyes haven't even started. I fell asleep. I fell a bloody sleep. What a terrible shame. I put a lot of effort into this. Too much tit for sure. Right, listen. Jess has even used literally. Look. Oh God. Literally. No, listen. Let me just quickly tell you. I finished my day's work, and I usually just set up a stream and say I'll be live in 5 minutes and all that. It's usually a last minute rush job. And annoyingly, I thought, no, I'm not gonna do the usual last minute rush job. I can't even talk. I'm still asleep. Do you know what I mean? I'm still in that weird state between dead and alive. Ah, oh, leave it out. Hang on, I've just got to make sure. I can't even read that. I can't read that. Right, I thought I'll schedule it for about an hour ahead. Let me just get some colour in my cheeks. The digital way. And of course, I went for a wee. I didn't fall asleep on the toilet. I'm not that bad at life. I'm just having a toffee, a little bit of sugar. I'll get funny little body sugar where I get a bit shaky. And I fell asleep. I went to my room just to chill out, really, because I've been sitting here all day. And I must have just dozed off. How kind of so many people to hang around, but I imagine we've lost a few new people, which is obviously a shame. There we go. All right, I've just put on a bit of music. Actually, I'll put on. Just let me have a wee and comb my hair. Wow, sorry about that. Really awful. Joking aside, not good. Unprofessional, and you wait around as well. You know, you can get away with this sort of thing maybe once or twice, but I think I've just had my one life. So sincere apologies. I mean, thankfully we're a community, so you've been able to have a little chat between yourselves. You've probably thank you, Martin. You've probably had a better time without me. Mike goes down here from here. What? Goes downhill from here. But I'll just put a little bit of music on. I know it feels like rubbing salt into the wound, getting here and then doing the off. If I don't have a wee now, I'll be under all sorts of pressure. Hang on. I'll be under all sorts of pressure. I won't be able to concentrate. I'm going to splash some water over my face and all that lark as well. Right, see you in under 2 minutes. See you in a minute.
Demolition of your dreams. You wanna rally, but you're lying in an alley, and we're never gonna hear the scream. If you're a man, then get a plan and be the king of all. You gotta go and get a show and be the last to fall. Just be a sunrise and shine a light on like a monkey, but they never let you in the zoo. You wanna hustle, but you haven't got a muscle, and your lips are nearly turn blue. Who wouldn't age, stuck in a cage, with all you got to give? Get out of bed, man, you've been dead, but now it's time to leave. Just be a sunrise and shine a light on every day. Just be a sunrise and not a candle burning away. Just be a sunrise and shine a light on every day. Just be a sunrise and not a candle burning away. Hey. All of your reasons are holding you back. Let's go in and attack, just begin. You can pack a good punch in the head of the voices of dead people you used to be. Just be free, let it go, start the show, get your flow, you're the king. Everything is for you, it's for you, it's for you. Don't be fooled by their lies, they just blinded your eyes. But it's time for your pride, and the fun has begun. Sunrise, just be a sunrise. Just be a sunrise. Just be a sunrise.
Good Lord, good Lord, Lord. Imagine that was my, what's that? I didn't ask for that to appear on my screen. Go, be gone. I don't even know what it is. Go, whatever you are, Microsoft thing that uploaded itself onto my computer. Right, hi. Oh, what's this as well now? Bing. It doesn't work. No one wants it. Bing. Give me a 1 in the chat if you use Bing on a regular basis. Bloody Bing. They're doing their best. Surely there comes a time when you just have to say it ain't working. There's a monopoly. And they've done it. They've integrated themselves into people's lives too much. Bloody Bing. Endlessly, they just keep adding. Right, anyway, right. Let me. Right. Let me get the grift on for half hour's silence. Oh, the numbers have gone up though. Anyone who's just turned up, massive apologies. I've just realised what the real, shall we say, catcher in the rye was. I went to the supermarket. I done super duper because we're on, dare I say, lockdown. Not really. We're on what's it called when you can't go out after curfew. We're on curfew. The irony, of course, is this video I named "What Makes You Feel Alive." Sleeping, certainly not waking up, going, "Oh no." So yeah, I got here late, but I went to the supermarket. I realised, I thought, oh no, what's the time? And I was shaking, when you get so hungry that you're shaking. All I'd had was a bowl of muesli all day. And so I saw the clock was sort of like 8:30 or something my time. And I thought, balls, I've got to get to the supermarket. Hello, Siobhan. How are you, my love? Lovely to see you. sister of a very good friend of mine. Been here before. Lovely to see you, Siobhan. I've been making videos again. Maybe you saw a couple of them and that's why you're here. Say hello to, I don't want to dox anyone, your brother and the rest of the clan. How sweet. So I've rushed out to the supermarket in a tuk-tuk, got my shopping, and when I got back, the little restaurant at the bottom of the alley was still open, and I thought, am I really going to chop up loads of vegetables, get the rice cooker on, fry off some steak, chop the steak off, fry off some scrambled eggs, make me egg fried rice, add the steak, oyster sauce, all that, which I have been doing regularly, but I thought, well, that's like a 45-minute job, and I could smell the food from the restaurant's called Bokalahong. I thought, oh, am I going to get a prawn fried salad? Salad? What? This? I hope you're enjoying this. Me at my worst. Fried prawn salad, prawn fried rice, and it was quite weird having 2 bags of shopping. I said to him, "Do us the usual, mate." I only went for the $5 version. Jack London, do you want me to dox you, Jack, or you want to stick with Jack? I got your email. I can get them out here. There's a couple of little barang restaurants that do them, but I'm not a big fan of a roast dinner, to be honest with you. I'm not a big fan. They've never really been my thing. I mean, I like. Thanks. I do like a big Yorkshire. I like nice Yorkshire pudding, but I'm not. Oh, actually, now I think about it, a few roast potatoes. Hang on, some broccoli. My mum's never been a great. Well, I did just single those out, but I could eat them on their own with a bit of gravy and a few Yorkshires. My mum's not the best cook. This is what it comes down to. I know everyone says, you know what my mum can make, which is probably why I've got a mouthful of gold teeth, is she makes great desserts. My mum's trifle sponge, nothing comes close to it. My mum's spotty dick and custard, like made. My mum's bread and butter pudding is just. Yeah, that makes a point as well. Out in this temperature, do you really want that sort of food? Well, originally in Yorkshire, so it goes. If we got a couple of Yorkshire men in here, Yorkshire pudding was originally a pudding. It's quite funny, actually. I found that out when we were about 8 years old, and of course, little horrible caused problems me. I said to my mother, I said, Yorkshire pudding used to be pudding, actually, so I don't want mine with my main dinner. I want it in a bowl afterwards, served with jam, please. Little bastard. But what she'd do is she'd make all the dinners for all of us, forget that I wanted it for afterwards. So now it's got gravy on the bottom soaked into it, and then she'd slop it in a plate and put a spoonful of jam on it. I bet that hunger you previously had, RMF, is slowly falling away. Oh no, it's brilliant. Made properly with homemade custard. You know, you should make the bread and butter pudding with custard, so that when you put it on the plate, it wobbles a little bit, and then you warm it up and serve it with a bit of ice cream. Good Lord. Lord save me. Right. I forgot to tell Moslab as well. That's great. Let me just tell Moslab that I'm streaming, unless he's in the chat. Has anyone seen him? Right, hang on. I think it's worth telling him. because I do forget. There you go. The Labrador has been told. Okay, Rags, not a problem. I've just told him. Wobbly food, yum. Right. The grift. Right. Don't forget you can become a member of this channel. Perks start next month. As if she doesn't know I'm streaming as well. And it's weirdly on the old camera. Maybe she was waking me up. Now, did I say I'd be making a YouTube video or not? Darling, I can't hear you. I can't hear you, love. I'm making it. I think my ear, maybe these. Yeah, I can hear you. I'm making a video. Like I told you. All right? All right, I'll talk to you later or tomorrow. I've just started. Okay. All right, love. I love you. I'll talk to you soon. Bye. Ah, yes. Bye. Told her I'd be streaming. She likes her 5 minutes of infamy. Right. Next month, lowest strata of membership will get a private hour live stream. Next strata is going to get an hour and a half. Third strata is going to get a 2 hour. And all the stratas above get the previous stratas as well. The fourth strata, which is ridiculously priced, YouTube set the prices, you get a personal 45 minutes with me, which I can't imagine anyone's going to want. But that link's in the description. And you get all the badges and all the other emoticons and all that. And there's loads of them. There's Ronnie, there's Sub Ronnie, there's what's his name? Oh, Thingy Bob. I can't even bloody remember his name. This will be fun, won't it? Right, don't forget to vote. Do not forget to vote on the community tab. I'm sure most of you have, sitting around with nothing to do for half an hour. But I'll put the link in the description now, so you've got a final chance. I've just popped the link in the description. It's not a nonsense one either. I've started asking actual questions, and it's relevant to the theme of this video. Oh my days. Oh my days. We need to have a look at that immediately. And you know the mad thing, I don't know who buy it. I'll tell you what. You know, I'm gonna encrypt this so we don't get in trouble. But old slippery slippers himself, old dribbling Prez. They're saying he's negotiating with the old Balitan, right? And it's so obvious what he's offering them. It's so obvious. Oh, yeah. Suicide bombers have bombed Kabul. That's shocking. Because that's the only way out. That's the only way out. I'm not surprised in the slightest. What? Someone bombed the only way out for the people that worked with the Americans and Americans. Kabul airport is the only way out. Now, I heard yesterday that they were surrounding it anyway. They don't want them people going out. As far as they're concerned, as far as the Balitan are concerned, they're traitors. They don't want them getting out. They want to torture them. They want to make an example of them, and they want the world to see. And they want people to know you mess with, you side with the Yanks, you die. Nonsense. Absolute madness. And they said that old dribbling Prez was negotiating with them. And I'll tell you now, he's the leverage will be the poppy fields, without a doubt. I promise you. That's what it'll be about. They'll be like, well, you know, we've got a lovely garden out the back here. It's about 100,000 acres. Can you leave it the hell alone? And they'll be like, well, all right. What other leverage has he got? It's nonsense. He's not gonna go back in. He's weak. He's just shown the world's mightiest military to be weak. Trump didn't do that. When they broke their deals with Trump, he dropped the mother of all bombs on them. He just said, "No, you don't do that with me," and he blew them up. This twit. No, they'll be what you've got going on at the moment is while the cat's away, while the mother's away, the cats will play or whatever it is. The kittens will go to Sheerness because there's nothing stopping them. Absolute weakness. Absolute weakness. Oh well, and across the southern border, you know, that wide open southern border, just flooding in. They'll have been planning this for months, if not years. Yeah, because this will happen, and then when they get rid of that president who's actually been causing us problems, we'll just fill the country up with. I don't know what nonsense, insurgents, terrorists. I wonder what weird new word the media will come up to describe them. Not non-friendly immigrants, or it'd just be ridiculous. Well, it isn't, Baz, but it's showing itself to be. That's the thing. Its leaders are. It's shocking. You wouldn't be surprised, would you, Johnny? You absolutely wouldn't be surprised. I'm so glad that even being half hour late, we've got like 88 people in here. Wonderful. Right, let me get this grift sorted out. Right, so you can become a member and enjoy the private streams, which will start next month, which is in about 5 days' time. You can donate on Subscribestar. Links to all these in the description, and you can just set off like a $5 or a $10 a month or $1 a month, and that's a regular support. You can use Entropy. The link's in the description, but I'll put it in the chat for you now. Or you can do a super chat, which is the $ down there. I don't expect to get rich off of this, but I do like a few quid. I do put a lot of work into the streams and the videos. Dun. I do. I still feel half asleep. I got something. Our pal. I've told you, like I've told many others before. No one has to apologise for not donating ever. It's a pleasure that you're here. I'll tell you what. It is handy though, sharing the videos, not necessarily the streams, because you know you have to get used to being part of the community for this to have. Cool. Right, I'm going to play you something. Rag sent me this earlier, and it's worth a listen. And it's only short, and you'll enjoy it. This is a poem by J.G. Chesterton, born 1874. It's only short. It's lovely. It's called The Rolling English Road.
Before the Roman came to Rye, or out to Severn strode, The rolling English drunkard made the rolling English road, a reeling road, a rolling road that rambles round the shire, and after him the parson ran, the sexton and the squire, a merry road, a mazy road, and such as we did tread, the night we went to Birmingham, by way of Beachy Head. I knew no harm of Bonaparte, and plenty of the squire, and for to fight the Frenchmen I did not much desire, but I did bash their bagonets, because they came arrayed, to straighten out the crooked road an English drunkard made, where you and I went down the lane with ale mugs in our hands, the night we went to Glastonbury, by way of Goodwin Sands. His sins they were forgiven him, or why do flowers run behind him, and the hedges all strengthening in the sun? The wild thing went from left to right, and knew not which was which, but the wild rose was above him, and they found him in the ditch. God pardon us, not harden us, we did not see so clear, the night we went to Bannockburn, by way of Brighton Pier. My friends, we will not go again, or ape an ancient rage, or stretch the folly of our youth to be the shame of age, but walk with clearer eyes and ears this path that wandereth, and see undrugged in evening light the decent inn of death. For there is good news yet to hear, and fine things to be seen, before we go to paradise, by way of Kensal Green.
There I was muted. Oh, Illuminatus has rejoined. Nice to see you, son. Apparently, according to Rags, the fella does a new poem like every week or something. So if you like that kind of stuff, I'll put a link in the description there. So that is his channel. Raymond, hello, mate. Raymond said Tacitus, Roman historian, described the British as tattooed wild men who drunk a drink made from barley and wheat. What's changed? Yes, we've just been there, but thank you anyway. Yep, it's apparently more than one, but you know, yeah, that happened, but thank you anyway. Right, so that fella does a new poem every week or something, so it sounded lovely to me. Hello, Jean. Nice to see you. Very nice. Oh, look, he's actually here. That was nice. So, yeah, so one more chance to vote in the community tab, and we'll have a look at the answer. So here's your link. Go and get a vote in. It's on what makes you feel alive, and there is an option other, so you can put your comment below. We'll give it 30 seconds or so. Funny old place, really, England. Funny old place. It's, you know, when you've been out there for so long and seen it from the outside, and you hear poems like that, it gets in your blood, and you know, we're trying to sort out getting out there, but it's proving tricky with her visa. Good Lord, the things they want. I couldn't believe it. They've got 3 strata of countries that need visas, and you want to see some of the countries that don't need a visa to get into England, and yet Cambodia does. It's like shocking. The link is right here, Mrs. Minute. It's in the chat now. I've just popped it in there. It's that one. So get over and give a vote. What makes you feel alive? And if your option is not of one of the 5 that are there, there's an other which you can you can comment below. I'll give it a few more seconds and we'll go and have a look. Hello, Philip. Well, not so good because I fell asleep and kept people waiting for half hour, which doesn't make me feel good. Certainly am, Jack. Absolutely. We're probably going to be doing 2 or 3 weeks. I'll do a week at my mother's, but I mean, to be honest with you, a day there is going to send my missus potty. And but it's easy getting into central London, so I might use it as a base, but I'm also going to get a hotel in central London. I know a nice little place that's almost like a house. It's less of a hotel. It's run by this old lady. It's a really nice little secret, and you can rent out a couple of rooms and she makes you dinner and she's lovely. It's weird, right in the middle of Soho as well. So I can take her to see a show. I can take her to all my favorite restaurants. We can pop down the French house. We can pop into Jerry's and, you know, have a bit of a laugh. Then I might take her to the Lake District, you know, just have a little look around at some nice things and get her to see a little bit of we can try. But on that, we will be having an in real life Scrubs meetup. That will be happening. So when I get the dates, we'll all be meeting up in central London for a day out. I am not, but I looked online and apparently if I get a test, there's ways around it. But I'm not going to worry about, or I can get the vaccine out here if I have to. And if I have to get it to travel, I'm going to have it because I'm not going to not be traveling for the rest of my life. That's ridiculous. But according to the internet, I can get a test and there's ways around it. And that will be one hell of a laugh. You know, we've done one before and there was about 20 of us. It was the Chinese prescription. Oh, don't say that, John. Don't say that, mate, please. But we'll have a real laugh in the Scrubs meetup. You're obviously from that manor. I grew up hanging around on Temple Hill because that's all where my schoolmates were, and I ended up living on Knights Manor for a couple of years. But I'm not. I'm from Newtown, the oldest part of the Dartford, which is just next to Temple Hill. Go down St Vincent's Road and you're there. But yeah, I've had a look. I've had an offer as well. As if that system wasn't going to be abused anyway. Yep, we've had that. We've already had a look at that. No, not good old Valence Road. That was when I lived in Bethnal Green. It was when we were kids, wasn't it, Siobhan? Not so much now, just junkies. But you had Temple Hill were the hard cases. You had Fleet Estate, which they thought they were rich. Tree Estate were just a bit grisly. And then the manor me and you lived on was just nice. Lovely little bit of Dartford. So there's been a few, there's actually been deaths, has there? Oh no. Oh, terrible move. So I bet you got to Somerset and was like, oh, that's better. I have got a place in my heart for the Happy Valley, though. You know, being born there and growing up there, it's still Dartford. Your house was peculiar. Siobhan's house was built on a hill, so when you go in the front door, you're sort of on the second floor, but then you go downstairs and you're in the kitchen. Really odd. And the person I've known for the longest, my oldest friend, used to live next door to Siobhan, and he lived in one of those houses as well. From the front, it looks like a normal 2 up, 2 down. But when you go in, you can go down 2 as well. It's really weird. But views over the whole of Dartford. It was a peculiar place. Yeah, there you go. Really strange. I always remember finding those properties strange, Chiffon, as a kid. Yeah, I'm hearing this as well, and I'm also hearing that a lot of people are moving out. Right, let's have a look at the community tab, because Mrs. Me in it is moaning about it. There is a bit where you can put your own comments in. Oh, good Lord. Anyway, right, let me refresh it and we'll go and see what the scrubbage is saying about things that make them feel alive. Right. So the question was, what makes you feel alive? And the winner, rather reassuringly, is relationships, brackets, friends, family, lovers, and that obviously includes your children. So that came in at a whopping 42%. Let me just have a little bit of water. Oh, you wanted to choose two. Good Lord. Good Lord. Well, a poll won't work like that, though, will it, Mrs. Me in it? Because people had abused the system. Poll dissidents, poll subversives like yourself. So in a massive 42% was relationships. So basically other people. Good Lord, look, she's on one tonight. They do the channel. The world are good, though. They really do. In at number 2 is other. So we'll have a look at those comments. In at number 3 is activities, gym, sport, holidays. Number 4, achieving a goal or a dream, in at 17%. 3% literally said drugs. Drugs, which is reassuringly small. Hello, Tech Roach. Linda B says Dangerfield, LGBO. I don't know what that means. LGBO long had a stroke and a lot of hallucinating going on at night. I'm quite enjoying myself, actually. Makes up for the chronic sleep apnea. I'm a little bit confused, Linda. You're gonna have to tell me LGBO. I'm a little bit lost. I hope you're all right, though. Oh, I hope you're all right. There you go. 4 U.S. Marines among. There you go. This isn't an attack on you, Jack. But Kel Surprise. Of course, they're gonna start killing. They're now showing power. Right, let's have a look at what people put for other, because it's a strong at 24. 27 now, it's gone up. Old Loomy's complaining that it needs a multiple choice option. And then he voted for the first one, proving that it doesn't need a multiple choice one. Ollie Oliver came to the conclusion a while ago that in real life conversations are the best thing ever. In order to have quality conversations that move us beyond bus stop etiquette, you need to have relationships. That's why I pick relationships. Nice one. Yeah, I think, oh look, he's even put his types of conversations. Funny, philosophical, nostalgic, silly and helpful. And combinations of all the above. Mary said something that has a sensory feeling from when I was in the late teens. Smells, sounds and music, taste, even that vague certain slant of light or the feeling that it evokes. However, it must be combined with some sort of physical exertion, even if it's just walking at a regular pace. But I'm down for running, biking, climbing too. for that feeling that I know, good Lord, there's a lot of that there. You'll have to read that in your own time or we'll be here all night. But that's nice. It does make sense. Don't knock yourself down. But there's no downside to being 50. I'm having the time of my life. Relationships, close tie with music from Jack. Different things at different times, says Keys to the Kingdom. Something good comes along and changes everything. I'll give you that. I'll give you that. Says who says the Bee Gees. They keep me staying alive. Getting out in nature from Charlie Sparkles. Relationships and achieving something from Dinosaur Trees. Being out in nature from Walter Kurtz. Glamping with the wonderful Emma G, says 42. Glamping, for those of you who don't know, correct me if I'm wrong, but I think that's glamorous camping. So no more of this making your half-cooked sausages on a ex-military hexy burner, but it's like, well, it's what it is, what it sounds like, glamorous camping. Mousecat says sheer terror and then realizing that's pointless. So you like the feeling of relief after an unnecessary moment of fright. That's a peculiar one. Just don't have the sheer terror. Just drop the sheer terror out. That is acceptance, Mousecat. That's exactly what that is. That's not getting into that moment of sheer terror in the beginning. Adele says satirizing, I think that's what she says, satirizing my fragile ego amongst friends, which I guess is storytelling. Listened to The Wonder of the Innocent Young Heart last night and was reliving the Carol fantasy. I told you I spoke to her again. I spoke to Carol again. And her daughter came on the video chat I had with her. For people who don't know, The Wonder of the Innocent Young Heart is a video I made about a love affair I had with a woman I met in Belgium when I went on a cycling tour of Europe when I was about 17. And it was a real passionate, you know, she was about 10 years older than me and beautiful and artistic and passionate, and it was quite the affair, you know, and I was, you know, very young. She made a man of me. I tell you what, she made a man of me. Wrathchild, that's a nice one, that, Adele. I'm glad you enjoyed that video. A few people write to me about that one. I just wanted to say I saw your video, blah, 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 and it reminded me of, you know, they had similar things as young men or young women. And that's always nice. Wrathchild says the love of a good woman, the thrill on a bike or jumping out of an aeroplane, starting a business, the beauty of the countryside, having a son, growing food, shooting, and eating your kill. Wrathchild is absolutely loving life. Everything. Life's great. Marky Marco, he loves riding his motorcycle and popping the odd wheelie. Well, if it makes you feel alive, don't knock it, just pop it. Liam is suggesting treading on a plug lets you know you're alive. A little bit of pain. Thank you, Adele. It's I was blessed by a great situation. I met her while I was juggling. Crazy, isn't it? Manny Moo is too jaded. Come on, John. I'm too jaded, too disappointed. That really saddens me, John. Life's brilliant. What a gift. You tell yourself that story too much and you'll be it. Tell yourself a different story. That saddened me, John, because you're an OG scrub. You've been here for a while, and I don't like to think that. Johnny Red Pill Seed, a Welsh Elvis on a Maltese Christmas. I I can't even remember what they mean. I'll have to get the old Scrubs glossary out soon and remind myself what some of these Scrubisms mean. Oh, Welsh Elvis on a Maltese Christmas. Oi, can you just stop with the moaning tonight, Mrs. Me in it? Are you a mouse cat sitting in the same room? I bet he's upstairs, isn't he? He's had a bit of your natter, and he said, "Yeah, I'm just gonna pop upstairs for a minute." Locks the door. There you go. Loomy sorted you out. La Herbert said a reasonable amount of all you listed. Oh, a reasonable amount of all you listed. Fair play, yep. Spread your bets. Just Sean says driving past graveyards. Very good, very good. Family and favourite sport from Rags. Nice one. As long as they're not the same thing. Our pal says metabolism. Scorry likes being out in nature. Sam likes puppies. Tech Roach likes some naughty sexual stuff. Also music. Shell wrote me a lovely email. Family and achievements. IR, nothing at the moment. I need to find something. Well, your answer is in your question, as you know. Make it happen, IR. Make it happen. Ray Surrealist says, other, my dogs and music. And look at that. Look at two of the best musicians ever. Beethoven and Mark E. Smith. Yeah, good call. Nice to hear from you, Ray. Cat Squatch says all of the above. Osmo says perving on bevies of Asian birds. Well, bevies, where I come from, is a drink. So I don't understand looking at an Asian woman's drink. And pagan and pags ends the whole thing with what is actually the best of the lot, contentment. He's alive if he's content. Nice one, Pags. That's great timing. I was right. Look at that. I was right about that. I'm just popping upstairs, darling. You're all right, Ray. It's always nice to see you about. Yeah, I heard about that the other night on Rick Beato's channel. In many ways, a strange drummer for a rock band, but without a doubt pulled it off, and for decades too. But nice to see you, Ray. Always a pleasure. Oi, Jared and all. Have you all seen Biden just do the off after he slurred his way through a bad auto cue session? Do you remember when Trump would give his pressers? He'd come in, he'd talk for a little bit with strength and gusto, and then he'd answer questions. And the questions would go on for ages, really tough questions. That cyborg thing, that dribbling prez, he kind of stands on, the lectern is holding him up. He's literally leaning on it to stay upright and goes, you know the thing. Come on, man. And then just goes. And the press are like, "Oi, what about?" He just goes. And did you see him make a joke? He made a joke. Someone asked him a question. I can't remember what it was exactly. He put it in the chat if you remember. Said something like, when are you going to get all the troops and all the people that supported America out? And he said so. The question was something like that. And Biden went, "When I know, you'll be the first person I call." Ha ha ha. People are dying. Ha ha ha. Being tortured. Ha ha ha. Alan, hello, my friend, and how are you today? Well, it's nice that the grift has began. It's been a long 50 minutes with no donations. So that's very kind of you. But I started half hour late. I fell asleep after what was quite a hard day's work. I fell asleep and kept people waiting for 30 minutes. So, you know, it's fair's fair. But thank you very much. And I'm on good form. I hope you are too. I'm a little bit worried now that because I've had a nap, it will cause me to go to sleep later than I usually do. But if that's all the worries you've got of an evening, I think you're doing all right in life. So, yeah, I hope you're well too, Alan. Appreciate the donation. Yeah, I think I'll drop an Uno in for the boy Watts. Dartford band, essentially, Rolling Stones. Well, certainly Mick and Keith. My auntie Susan was a bit of a groupie with the Rolling Stones. My mum loves telling me that story. Not a problem, Alan, as long as you're keeping an eye on those dodgy staff. Hello, Robert. Nice to see you. Yeah, it's ridiculous, isn't it, Mrs. Me in it? I just, yeah. It's not as simple as that. Because I've changed my strategy of publishing, I need to get 2 books of shorts done as well before I release it, because there's no point putting a novel on Amazon without anything to follow it up, because it just doesn't work as a strategy. So I need 2 books of short stories ready so that I can put the novel on Amazon. 3 months later, a book of shorts. 3 months later, another book of shorts. 3 months later, another novel. But look, it's people asking me when it's going to come out that's made people feel like it's never coming out. I never should have mentioned the bloody thing. But I have got the weekend free. The girlfriend's coming over on Monday, and this weekend I am going to dedicate to the novel. So over the weekend, I reckon I'll get very near the end. Hello, Barkley. Hope you're all right, son. It's madness out what's happening out there. We all knew, says the marketing genius. No, I'm not. I'm doing it by the book of people who've proven it to work. You crack on doing your thing. I'll do it my way, and we'll compare notes at the end of the year, right? When the dribbling Prez got in, we all knew that it was going to be awful. We all knew that he's incompetent, and of course, thank you, Alan. That's a little bit more like it. Yeah, you saw that one, Jess. Music. I have occasionally put. It depends what sort of work I'm doing. If I'm editing, but words, when you're writing words, is tricky, and also there's certain tunes that I can put on that I was listening to at the time because it's autobiographical. So there's certain tunes that take me straight back there. So put them on and lovely. And I also get on Google Earth as well. And when I'm writing a scene that's in a particular location, I get on Google Earth and I go there so I can see it, and it really helps. And I start crying. But I tell you what, when you're crying and writing at the same time, well, this is the other thing, Pags, I was just about to say. There's that. There's him. There's that. But I'll tell you, I never thought it'd do so much damage to America in such a short space of time. This is really exceeded even my worst fears. The United States of America's place on the world stage is at stake now. And you wouldn't have thought that. You just wouldn't have thought that. I don't know what that means. I'd like to join in. That's very kind of you, Anglo-Saxon. You were very generous yesterday as well. Hoit! Hoit! Nice one. The chat has gone off for me. Anyone else not got the chat? I think that's just your end, son of Max, because otherwise I'd have had about 30 people tell me. Strange old day, innit? It's a good point, actually, because Obama didn't do much good for the country, but he had the charisma and, and even when he was wrecking things, the media kind of liked him and so did the people. But, I mean, if you voted, if you were one of the two people who voted for the dribbling Prez, how at what point, serious question, how long, nice one, Alan, good to know. Do you think people are still making excuses for Biden? Do you think there are people still saying that this administration is doing well for that country? It's a serious question. I need to know what you think. Are there people sort of sitting around, their little hellhole Democrat towns and cities sort of, going, yeah, he's doing a good job. He's doing a good job. Jared reckons, of course they are. I don't know. Yeah, I don't really know what, come on, Spencer's been a bit, I think Spencer's feeling a little bit left out, he's not, he doesn't get the attention he once had, and he likes attention, so he just says things. I think he's just trolling now, I mean, what is there to praise? I mean, did you see, give us a 1 in the chat if you saw Jocko Willink's interview that kind of went viral. I don't like to use that phrase too much, but ex-US Navy SEAL, and he looks like he was cut out of granite, Jocko Willink, and he made comment on it, and it's gone everywhere, and it's quite the interview. Okay, a few people have seen it. I like Jocko Willink. I listen to his podcast quite a lot. Yeah, there's never been something quite right. No, I'd have Trump all day long over this fool. I like Trump. Liked him. I reckon he's the best president America's ever had in my lifetime. Well, there you go, Mark. There you go. It's still just Orange Man bad. What? Imagine, how do you defend the mess that country's in? It's been burning for 2 years now. Yeah, he's proper, isn't he? Wouldn't it be wonderful if all your special forces soldiers were like Jocko? I mean, I know you don't have to look like him to be a special forces soldier. There's a lot more a lot more to it than that. But there is. He's. I'll tell you who he reminds me of. When I was a kid, there was in 2000 AD there was a story. I can't remember who wrote it. It might have been Pat Mills, but it was drawn by Brett Ewins, and it was called Bad Company. And the main character was called Kano. He had the top of his head chopped off. And I'll find a little picture of Kano. I had to tell you how, or otherwise it wouldn't make sense. But when I show you a picture of Kano, give me a one in the chat if anyone remembers Bad Company by Brett Ewins. I met him once and he done me a drawing of Thrax, who was from Bad Company. But look, this is a picture of Kano, and every time I see Jocko Willink, I think of this geezer. Hang on. Willink looks like that. He's just this brick shithouse of a bloke who's kicked down many a door and gone in bullets fight. Oh, no way. Loads of people do remember Bad Company. Amazing. Loomy does. That's amazing. Tech Roach, Scory, John Enoch. Hello, Bunny Shonis. Yeah, but it has been a long time. I'm great. Started half hour late tonight, so that's a bit of a not good move. But no, I'm great. It's been great making streams and videos again. You remember Bad Company and Kano? Good Lord, misses me in it. Nice to see you, Bunny Shonis. Really nice. But yeah, old Brett Ewins and all that crowd. And now I'll show you a picture of Jocko Willink, and you'll see the look at him. Look at him. He was a US Navy SEAL, I think, for about 20 years. Military stuff, especially special forces stuff, he's brilliant. I mean, look at that. But his podcast, I'll tell you what's amazing about his podcast is he's taken what he learned through his time in the military, and he now advises business about leadership and working in groups. And you know, he's got a very successful business doing it. And he's also a jiu-jitsu teacher. And yeah, he's quite the soldier. It's a very good podcast, actually. I learn quite a lot from it. You know, he doesn't teach me stuff, but he sends me, he gives me things to think about so I can teach myself. I mean, look at this picture of him. Look at this. Hang on. Imagine. Hang on. I'll put it on the in the other one so that you can actually see it. Imagine you're hiding out, and this geezer comes in with his other special forces troops. Put your weapons down. It's over. You've lost. I ain't got time to bleed. Great point, Flammadiddler. Trump transcended the two-party paradigm. It was all about him and his relationships with the common man. Yep. I really wish he hadn't fallen out with Bannon. I mean, I don't know whether it was political or what, but it was Bannon really that just said to him, just, you know, campaign on this, and you'll win. Hello, Tito. Good to see you, man. Tito, do you remember Bad Company, drawn by Brett Ewins? This was the one of the main characters, this fellow here. Kano. I was just likening him to Jocko Willink. But if you're into military stuff and you want a very interesting podcast, Jocko Willink's is brilliant. And it's one of those ones where he's on number like 280. So if you get into it, you can binge it, and there's weeks of content. He's a very interesting bloke, and he's one of those successful blokes. He went to war. He's fought in wars, special forces, behind enemy lines kind of stuff. He's got a family, got a successful business that he built up, created wealth after the military, and got a very successful YouTube channel. He's an inspiration, and we should look to inspirations. We should look to people who've succeeded and learn from them, like we used to, like communities and societies used to. Yeah, that I've watched. There's another military YouTube channel called Jameson's Travels, and he's done a load of stuff on SEAL training, and I look at it and I think, nah, that's not for me. The name, I'll write it. It's Jocko Willink. Let me get the spelling properly. Hang on. Is it double L? Yes. There you go, Jean. It is. Oh, I've spelled it wrong. It looks like. Hang on, that ain't right. I can't even delete my own message. It ain't spelt like that. It's spelt like that. But yeah, the podcast's great. What he tends to do is he brings on ex-military types who've written books, and he reads a bit of the book, and he has them there on the show. And he's had really high-ranking soldiers who are about 85, who were who've been to 5 different wars, like Vietnam, Korea, Iraq. They've been everywhere and survived a lot, and incredible stories, like helicopter full of troops and the back rotor got shot out, managed to land it. One of them, there's a load of troops and they're running from Viet Cong. They're being outgunned, and they've called for air assistance, but they can't do it because they're too near the enemy. They're 40 meters away. And there's no LZ, there's no landing zone. So true story this. Check this out. Even if you're not into the military, this will blow your mind. So this helicopter pilot flying the old Huey, it's the classic Vietnam helicopter. It's the one in the opening scenes of Apocalypse Now. He notices that the trees are bamboo, and he has faith that his rotors can cut the bamboo. So he goes above a lot of bamboo because he can see the American troops running from thousands of Viet Cong who are shooting at him. And he just lowers it down gently while his rotors are cutting the bamboo out of the way. So he cuts his own landing zone, and then drops the smoke out so that all the troops, they get in, and then the old side guns just, and then has to pull straight up again and save them. It's I suppose in a way, yes. I suppose that is. I don't know if he necessarily required a pocket of air, but yeah. But I tell you, they're every week there's a story like that, and to hear it from the horse's mouth, so to speak, you know, and he's a great interviewer. He lets them talk, even when they're like a doddery old 85-year-old who can barely talk. What he has to say is magic, and you just listen to it. And well, that comes up quite a lot, and he just says, look, you need the people who can do the job the best. If they can do the training and get through, then they deserve a place in the military. And then I was thinking, oh, Jocko, you've let us down there. And then he went, but they can't do the training. You know, you've got to do 20 pull-ups straight away. And he said, they can't. He said, the women just can't do it. So they've changed the training. They've brought the training down so that they can pass. It's like, what? Nice one, Anglo-Saxon. You and Alan are keeping this grift alive, which makes me feel a little bit uncomfortable, but it is appreciated. This is what Anglo-Saxon says. When your side has lots of people like Jocko, how did we lose in Afghanistan? Yeah. Leadership. It's always what comes from up top. Same with Vietnam. You know, same with Vietnam. I mean, I heard today, thank you, Anglo, for that donation. I heard today, I wonder if I can find it. Oh, I won't be able to find it. But actually, I might be able to find it. This is worth waiting for, because if I can find this will blow your minds. Balls. I watched it on a different account. Let me just see if I can find it, because it is worth it. I know it's a little bit of dead time, but talk amongst yourselves for a minute. We're still edging around 100, which has made me very happy, because I knew I screwed up tonight. And I sincere apologies. Keeping people waiting is not, I'm not proud of that. Oh, why isn't it ever in my history? It's madness. Anyway, I heard tonight how much munitions and equipment they left in Afghanistan. Give us a 1 in the chat if anyone else saw that. I think it was on Hannity. How much stuff they actually left behind. And it's not like it's been dumped in the river. They've just given it to terrorists. It's billions of dollars worth. There you go. People heard it. Was you shocked when you heard how much they left? It's like guns, something like 150 armored vehicles. It's bulletproof vests, thousands of drones, millions of rounds of bullets. You know, they haven't left a couple of pea shooters and a bloody chewing gum that hurts your thumbnail when you take it out. There you go. These were the kind of numbers I was hearing. 800,000 assault rifles. I didn't hear him mention that, but good Lord. You know, they've armed them. Let me see if I can find it another way. Oh, Lord. Nah, that's not going to work like that. Look at how rigged YouTube is, right? Yeah, it's shocking, Siobhan, what they left behind. Look how rigged YouTube is. I just searched for Hannity, right? You know Hannity? Sean Hannity, Fox News contributor. A bit like Tucker Carlson light, but all right, you know, he's all right. I type in Hannity. The first thing that comes up is The Daily Show with Trevor Noah. You know that hilarious bloke, Trevor Noah? And it's the worst of Sean Hannity. So you search for Hannity and you get Trevor Noah's show first. The worst of Sean Hannity. Number 2 is CNN. I watched Hannity for a week. This is what I found out. After that, The Late Show with James Corden, who we all know is a twat. Then Jimmy Kimmel's show about how bad Sean Hannity is. I just, what? Yeah, but Mousecat, that was YouTube. That's not Google, that's YouTube. Incredible. Yeah, that's not rigged at all. Let's see. Weapons left behind. I mean, Salty Cracker must have mentioned it somewhere along the line. Right, here I found a little 2-minute section. I haven't watched this before, but they might mention some numbers. Oh, and the other thing they left behind is computer hard drives with all the names and addresses of all the Afghanis that helped out the Americans. Yeah, with biometrics like fingerprints and eyes and things and what they look like, appearances, documents. They've left all that there. Well done. Well done. It really, really, really encourages people to help America in the future. It's mind-blowing. Oh, hang on a minute. I might be able to get... This might be Hannity talking about the weapons.
Welcome to Hannity. And breaking tonight, the State Department is now at this hour just issued a security lines. The situation is deteriorating by the hour. Biggest mass hostage.
I mean, that's essentially what it is at the moment, a mass hostage situation.
Americans are still trying to get out.
Hang on, this is it.
We need an enemy locker. Ask Biden what he will do at the side of its front.
This is it. Hang on. We'll get the numbers.
One word in this on evacuating people. Oh, anyone still held hostage but waited. The airport, because of Joe, literally collapsed weeks ago. And by the way, we are told, our sources, so did the Department of at odds with the Taliban. Why? When the Taliban acted immediately, nor did he want to cut checkpoints, and they alone by also the consequences of a rapid fire government.
Oh no.
Months. And that was even after he made the deal with the withdrawal plan. Thousands of people in the United States or the Afghan, they will all be hunted down or destroyed.
Here we go. I found it.
Possession. They will all be.
Right, let's have a look at this. Let's see what Hannity says. I've got the numbers. Here we go. So this is what, I mean, there'll be a little lead up because I haven't got it right on the money, so to speak, but he's about to tell you that they've got from sources, military sources. Here we go.
Be killed by the Taliban. It's already happening, according to reports. And America left behind the entire database, now in the Taliban's possession. They will all be hunted down, and when they are caught, they will be murdered, and Joe Biden is the person you can blame. And think about this. Many of them will be murdered with the very weapons that Joe Biden didn't make preparations to bring home or destroy. At the very least, I would have brought them home. A reported $83 billion worth of weapons that you paid for. That includes, get this, 75,000 armored vehicles. Get this, 208 Black Hawk helicopters and other aircraft. $200 million worth of drones. We gave them our drones. 600,000 military-grade guns and other weapons. And let's not forget the thousands of night vision goggles, uniforms, bulletproof vests, other protective gear. And then to top it off, the Taliban even has access now to biometrics data left behind. That means for any Afghan or anyone that assisted U.S. forces over the past 20 years, they will be told, look into this computer. And if there's a match, that person will die. And then to top it all off, al-Qaeda is very much alive and well, in spite of what Joe Biden and others are saying in Afghanistan. And they are working hand in hand with their brothers in the Taliban. They will likely have access to some of these weapons. And now a safe haven to plan future attacks, likely against us as their number one target. This is
absolutely shocking. Absolutely shocking. And then if you combine that with the southern border that you can just walk into, you can just walk into that country. And they've just armed these people. I mean, that, you know, look, the Afghanis are a war people. They've never successfully been invaded. There is a bigger infrastructure underground than there is above ground in Afghanistan. It's much like Vietnam. Vietnam, right? Ho Chi Minh City or Saigon, call it what you will. Underneath Ho Chi Minh City starts a tunnel system that goes on for 250 miles, right? And during the Vietnam War, those Viet Cong soldiers knew those tunnels like the back of their hands. They never wrote it down. They never left info. They knew what tunnels led to traps where you just fell down a 40-foot pit with spikes at the bottom. They knew what tunnels had booby traps in them. So they could all just run down those, gone. And so when they had a name for them, didn't they? I can't remember, they cave monkeys or something. When the Americans went down there, they had to go step by step, watching out for tripwires, checking everything. The people they're chasing have gone. They've come out of other entrances and are fighting other people. And Afghanistan's the same. It was on Jocko Willink's show where I heard soldiers saying that you'll be in Afghanistan, there'll be aggressive enemies shooting at you, and you think, oh, they're not very well trained, all this underarm AK-47 stuff, and you get your weapons ready and suddenly they just disappear. And you're like, that's it, tunnel rats. Nice one, Tech Roach. They called the Americans tunnel rats. But they just disappear because they've just gone underground. And you'll be looking at this just sort of mountainous tundra. Sorry, Horace used the word earlier in conversation and I needed to get it in. But they just disappear. They go, gone. And you don't stand a chance. You can't. You go into that tunnel, you're on the back foot because they will have you in their sights as soon as you go down there. And they'll think, yeah, come in. Because when you see those cave walls getting to about 1.5 foot wide for those little Vietnamese running through them, you'll think, oh, I'll do that one. Looks a bit bigger. And then you'll fall through an hole in the ground to your long, slow, painful death. And we've just armed them. Night vision goggles, that immediately, those America having night vision goggles, that puts you up on a massive advantage against them. And that you only need one set of them for your scout. Oh, there they are. Yeah. And then you just tell your people. It's shocking. I mean, these bombs at Kabul airport, I mean, I'm not taking anything away from them or the deaths, that the unnecessary loss of life. That's nothing. That's nothing. That is, yeah. And let's not forget that. Let's not forget who paid for all this. Yeah. That is nothing. These people are ruthless. And there's, I see a map earlier, and it showed you how much Taliban control has been taken in the last 3 days. And the Taliban control is shown in red. And a few days ago, it was like 4 bits. And then it just goes, it's their country now. And there are people sitting there thinking, I put my life on the line for the Americans to keep the Taliban in place. And they've just pissed off. And now me and my family and my children are going to get tortured and killed and strung up from the lampposts. I'm beyond jokes, really, with all that. Yeah, what a thing. All right, let's go to something slightly more slightly less devastating. But what do we make of this? Hang on. What do we, where is it? Oh, hang on. Once I show you this, I'm sure there'll be a lot of people in the chat who've got something to say about this. Where is it? This is the one. Oh, the press is on live now. Hang on. Right. It looks like we've just missed it. Balls. So what do we make about this, people? The press is on right now. Jake Paul is fighting Tyrone Woodley. Let me do that again because I forgot the damn audio. I mean, you know what? It's easy. It's easy to say that Jake Paul is just an horrible, arrogant bastard. But I reckon he's All right, here we are. Luke Thomas Bryant. Opposing camp here. Things are. Imagine your mother joined in. Hang on, let's see if we can get to hear a bit of Jake Paul. Right, listen, I don't like Jake Paul. It makes me I'm not impressed with him as a person. But I think he might end up being a bit of a fighter here. He knocked that other fella out stone cold. Let's see if I've pulled it back a bit. Let's see if we can hear what they say. Let me know if you can hear it. Champion. He's known as the choke. Say, you know what? Hello, Moslab. This I mean, it's such a crazy story. It's you. Sorry, none of you heard it or saw it. I really am not. Hang on. It's worth hearing. It's worth hearing. I'll do it right. Right, here we go. Let's try again. Apologies, people. Yeah, this is practice for my OnlyFans. Good call. Good call. But let's remember who this is. This is Jake Paul. He's a YouTuber with a millions of like teenage girls who follow him doing pranks. And now he's a professional fighter. Here he comes. You'll hear it. I'm gonna just check. I've got this set up right. It's counterintuitive, but I did fall asleep, so help us out a bit, people. Right, check it out.
Making his professional boxing debut in Tyron Woodley. Jake, is this the fight where all the naysayers, all the critics say, you know what, this cat's for real?
Yeah, 100%. You know, Tyron Woodley, he really is the chosen one. We chose him to get his ass beat. 5-time UFC champion, explosive, knockout power. That's all cool, but none of that matters Sunday night. And I'm sending him into retirement, turning him into a meme, and people will see, oh my gosh, this kid can fight. He's got skills. He can take a punch. That gas tank is nice. That inside fighting is nice. That body work is nice. That jab is nice. That 1-2 is nice. Oh, and then he came with the overhand right. That's nice. Oh, we got a hook too. We got a check hook. Oh my God. People are gonna be surprised. I haven't shown shit. I can fight southpaw too. I might come out southpaw. I haven't even shown that yet. So yeah, this is my coming out party.
Tyron, you're also making your boxing debut. You told the MMA Hour you are here to take over, and people are going to see that.
I mean, Tyron Woodley's no fool. He's 5 times MMA champion. And I don't like Jake Paul. I've never liked him. I don't like his brother either. But I watched his promo of his training camp. He's put a good, strong camp behind him. And I can see him winning this fight. I can see him winning it. You would not go in a ring with someone who has proven themselves to be able to knock people out unless you thought you could win. Yeah, I'm with you. I reckon it might be worth a punt. I wonder what the odds are. You know, he knocked that other fella out cold. It's what a peculiar story. I mean, the whole internet age is, this geezer was only a few years ago. He was smashing things up and driving cars into swimming pools and going, ha, 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 ha. He's the favorite as well. Oh my days. And you can tend to trust the bookies because they've got more. No, likewise, I wouldn't. I'll go, no, sorry, mate, if I upset you. He has trained. He's been training for this. I saw it, and all his trainers that he's handpicked, and they've all trained other successful fighters. They've said he does not stop. He doesn't stop until we say. He's not like, I can't do anymore. He just keeps going. It's Sunday night. Good Lord. Well, if I get all that work done on my novel, it's only a couple of days. I'm excited. And over here, I'll be able to watch that on telly for nil money. What do we think? Nice one, Barney. That's much appreciated. Much appreciated. What do we think? Look at that. You have it different in America, though. We have different odds, so I don't quite understand that. I can't quite work that out. But he's the favourite. That's good enough. If I can sort that out, RMF, I'll do exactly that. But I will have just done 2 days of writing, and I'm not. You know, that's gonna. Oh, hello. I'll be more punch drunk than these fellas by the end of that. 1 in the chat for Jake Paul to win. 2 in the chat for Tyrone Woodley. Not who you want to win, who you think's going to win. 1 for Jake Paul, 2 for Tyrone Woodley. Okay, look at that. It's incredible, isn't it? This sort of obnoxious prickle. There's a few people going for Tyrone, though. I think it's Tyrone. It might be Tyrone. No, I can't see a draw. I can't see that happening. Sally is going for Tyrone Woodley. I think Jake Paul, I mean, you know, I don't know a lot, i.e. nothing about Tyrone Woodley, but I know he was very successful in MMA. But I can see Jake Paul having this. I'll tell you why. Because he's one of these blokes, if you've seen what he's done, he's made millions, right? Out of YouTube, out of his brand, and his channel's jank. You know, it's not anything special. But he's a succeeder. You cannot deny that. And he's got that drive to succeed. And that can make the difference in life in so many different areas. When I set my business up, I was at my worst when it comes to addiction. I was waking up and having a can of Tennant Super for breakfast to wash down a handful of Valium, right? And I'm not joking, not 2 or 3, 15, 20, 10 mils, 150, 200 milligrams of Valium. Wash that down with Tennant Super, and that would allow me then to get out the house and buy some smack. That is where my mind was. And I built up a business that was soon turning over $5,000 a day. Because I just needed to succeed because my life was such a mess. I was such a failure. You know, up until then, it was all groovy. I had an MA at 23. I had a master's degree at 23. It was all. And suddenly I was very low down the food chain, so to speak. I weighed about, what was it then? I weighed about 60 kilos. I was a bag of bones. But I needed to get out of that. And I just thought, if I can make this business work, if I can put everything I've got into it and work every hour God sends me, I will then have a life. Because I've been to rehab already by then 4 or 5 times. But when you get clean in rehab, when you've got nothing on the outside, you're not motivated because you know that you're going to leave that rehab, go and sign on. And you're going to get your £50 a week and your housing benefit, and you're going to sit there smoking weed going. So when they try and take away from you the only things that are giving you any reason to live, you don't bother. And I thought to myself, well, hang on, let's try and think this through. What's the problem here? Why aren't I getting clean? Because there's no reason to. So I thought, make something happen. Make it so that I go into that rehab and the hell my body's going through and the hell my mind is going through is worth it. Because once I'm through it, I come out to a new life. I come out to a life where I can go on holiday, which I'd never done on my own. I'd never traveled really. Well, apart from that cycling tour when I was 16. But, you know, we were busking. We took 30 quid with us. Spent that on Southern Comfort on the boat. And so I just had that drive and it worked. And then I did go to rehab and I did get clean. And this geezer has shown that kind of drive times 1,000. He's a success. And his ego is so big that he doesn't want to get knocked on the floor. Not because he doesn't want to lose the fight, not because he doesn't want people to think he can't fight, but because he's this story, Jake Paul, this success. He wants to carry that on. And so he will have been training, and every single time he's about to collapse and his trainer's bouncing that medicine ball off his abs and he's getting him to do his burpees and he's got him on the speedball and he's got him doing bag work. He knows that if he puts another hour in, he's another hour closer to continuing the story of his life, which is succeeding. I don't like him. I don't like the bloke. This isn't me loving Jake Paul. But the reason I think he wins this fight is because losing will hurt him too much. Not physically, psychologically. For him to get an uppercut in the second round and kiss that canvas, and him know that all the haters out there, and he's got, it kind of levels out at his level. Those millions of fans he's got millions of people who think he's a prick. And he knows that if he loses, they'll all be at home going, wanker. And that is his drive. Nothing else. His drive here isn't winning the fight. It's not losing it. I can't wait. If anyone can be asked to find out what time that is, and the main card, I don't want to be sitting there for 4 hours watching. I was about to say nobody's fighting, but the main card is nobody's fighting. How peculiar. Well, maybe so, but by that time it won't matter because, Ed have proved himself. By that time, Ed have grown up. Nice to see you, Woodsman. I don't recognise the name, but you're welcome here. I think he'll mature soon, and once he does, he's just got it all to sit back on. I'll posit this now. I'll put this out there. Well, I try not to be Anglo in fairness. My body, as I get older, my body has started to tell me to rest. I've been getting a lot of migraines, a few months ago because I was writing too much. I was working like a 10-hour day and then writing for 5 hours, 15 hours looking at the screens and then going to bed, waking up and doing it again. And I just suddenly see those patterns, and my body is saying, no. But I'm learning to get a bit more rest in. Bullet says, Dangerfield, I think all people who have been dope fiends are like that. We never want to see people do shit. We prefer them doing well. It's knowing that being at the bottom of it's knowing that being at the bottom of the bottom. Yeah, I think so. And on that note, that's what I was just about to say. Yeah, that's a fair point. That's a fair point. There'll be plenty of those. I'm gonna call this now, and I think I don't think too many of you are gonna agree with me. Excuse me. Give it 5 or 10 years. Watch Jake Paul mature into a very nice and kind bloke. I'm serious. I think he'll start using his money for what he perceives as good. I think he'll start setting up organizations and things to help people in need. He's a young man. He's full of testosterone. He's full of all that stuff. He's had a lot of success. Look back, men. Look back to when you were in your teens and your 20s. Were you a nice, friendly bloke? Did you make any mistakes? Yes, I think so. And I've also seen Moslab. I've also noticed those with the most sort of arrogance and sort of spite, shall we say, tend to do the biggest U-turns. They're the ones. Oh, I love that. I'll have a look at it. LC350. They get screen time. You still get the glory. The people that were the worst tend to make the biggest U-turns. So I'm calling that now, and I'm happy to remind me later on down the line. He won't be like that forever. And it might even take losing a fight like this, or it might even take him having a run of wins and then losing to start that journey of change and maturity. We had an entropy. The grift is on. Entropy. LC350, OG Scrub. He says, I've got 2 cheeky lamb steaks. I don't know what's going on there. Grab about self cheeky ribeye. What? How many words? Is this cryptic? I think as yourself a ribeye. Big Scrub love. Likewise, back at you, man. Nice one. Appreciated. And I absolutely will buy a ribeye. I was in the supermarket earlier. I got a tenderloin because I thought that would be nice for the old fried rice. It's a little bit, thinly sliced, because you can't really thinly slice a ribeye or a rump, but the old tenderloin slices nicely. Fry that up with the old. I'm so proud of my new fried rice recipe, and I bought the. Oh my Lord, what is it? Sesame oil. Just a little dribble on the top afterwards and then mix it in, but a very little dribble. It's a very strong flavor. But oyster sauce while you're cooking it, soy sauce while you're cooking it. That's it. No 5 spice or any of that nonsense. As long as you've got a good range of veg. I use sweet corn, garden peas, spring onions, not cooked, chucked on afterwards. Siobhan, who's known me since I was about 3 years old, said, "You've always had a good heart." What a lovely thing to say. I think you've missed a few things, though. There are a couple of times en route where maybe not, but that's lovely, Siobhan. Thank you. Jack says Fury called out the front wheelers in a leaked video. Oh, God. Won't be watching that. Garlic in my rice dish. I find it's the wrong flavour for it. Natty. Hello, Natty. How are you? Yeah, you've been here 30 seconds and you haven't tried to advertise something. Nice to see you, though, mate. Been a long time. I've kind of moved away from that scene, so that's probably why we haven't crossed paths. But I'll have to hit you up for a chat at some point. Baz says that venerableness is aged honourableness. Well, I'll chuck that out there. Johnny says coffee is one of his 5 a day. Yeah, another question for you, because this was meant to be about life and things, which, you know, admittedly the Afghanistan thing came in, but I think it would have been stupid not to have covered that as it was news that came in live. But the talking about Jake Paul is locked in with the stuff about making you feel alive. I want you to answer this in the chat. Men and women, right? Can you cook? And by cook, I don't mean that one meal that you learned in 1986 that you pull out the bag once a year. Can you cook? By can you cook? Could you cook a different meal 7 nights of a week? So every night for 7 days without consulting the internet. You're not allowed to go online and get a menu. Have you got enough about you to throw a few ingredients together and cook 7 decent, you know, porridge and bananas doesn't count. Beans on toast doesn't count. We're not talking snacks. We're talking making food. Give me a 1 in the chat if you can. Give me a 2 in the chat if you can, if you could do about 3 days, or 3 in the chat if no, you can cook snacks but nothing else. So 1 if you can cook, basically. 2 if you can, you've got a few meals that you can cook, and 3 if it's just not something you've learned. Mrs. Me in it drops a Lady Godiva on me. Much appreciated, my dear. It's been a rough, oh darling, I'm sorry to hear that. It's been a rough week, a rough day. Nothing new here, but you lot have cheered me out, cheered me up, cheered me out. I don't even know what that means. But Mouse Cat is the best. For those who don't know, for lurkers, most delightfuls and newcomers, Mrs. Me in it and Mouse Cat are a couple. And as far as internet relationships go, I've got to know them pretty well. They know a few things about me that the rest of you don't, and I know a few things about them that the rest of you don't. And they've had some hard times recently, but bloody lovely people. If it wasn't for Mrs. Me in it, I didn't get a Christmas. I mean, Windy Willow sent me over a Christmas cake. That's right. And Mrs. Me in it sent me a little Christmas tree with lights on it. Only a little one, but out here, it might as well have been the size of Big Ben. And the Christmas pudding that me and my girlfriend got drunk on, with a little bottle of brandy to add more to it. And more. There was more than that. Loads of handmade Christmas crackers. Handmade. She'd made them herself. And so basically, me and my missus had a Christmas. And the pair of them are just lovely people. You know, they both donated to the channel. They both watch most streams. They engage with what's going on. And they're lovely. And I'm sorry to hear you've had a rough week and a rough day. And she sent me a record that she recorded, and it's over there in the drawer. And I keep my batteries in that drawer. And every time I open it, I see it and I smile. So thank you for the donation, love. And yes, Mouse Cat, the pair of you are lovely. Who was it Mouse Cat that crawled behind you when you were on the stream on video? My mum done that once. When I was in between homes, when I moved out of Soho before I came here, I'd done a stream from my mother's house, and my mother, bless her, 76 years old, crawled on all fours behind me so that she didn't get seen. You could just see her back like the Loch Ness Monster, just sort of gliding along. Bless her. Thank you, Mrs. Me in it. I'm sorry to hear you having it hard, but a pleasure to have been part of cheering you up. I missed them too. Yeah, they're just good fun, aren't they? You know, I'm gonna do one this week about we've got 3 scrubs, 3 who are picking up their bespoke suits this weekend. So either this weekend, one of them is definitely this weekend, one of them might have already happened, and I think the other one might be Monday or Tuesday. 3 scrubs are picking up. Weird how it's timed itself like that. But 3 scrubs are picking up their handmade, fully bespoke suits over the next few days. And I'm going to make a video about top tips for getting a suit made. You know, for someone, I think I've had 9 or 10 bespoke suits when I used to be rich. I got rather into it and made some mistakes as well. Got some suits, you know, when you pay $2,000 for a suit and you wear it twice before you catch yourself in a mirror and think, what was I thinking? Whereas I've got others, which I've got one hanging up over there that's kind of on its last legs. You know, it's 16 years old. I used to do stand-up comedy in it, which is a bit rough and tumble, my shows. And the tailor that made all of it, hand sewed the buttonholes, made the trousers, the waistcoat and the jacket, 3 fittings. She died. And so I can't get her to make me another one. I mean, that sounds a bit ruthless, doesn't it? She's dead. Where am I meant to get my suit from? But it's probably my favourite suit out of all I have made. And that's why I brought it out here. So you can get it right and you can get it wrong. And I give as much advice to the scrubs who are getting suits made. So I'm thinking of making a video about it, because then that's on the internet. And if anyone wants to get a suit made, they can have a look. Right, let's see what the cooking thing came up like. So it's Scorry. Where did they go? I don't know how far the cook. Oh, that's got to be the cooking, isn't it? Right, here we go. Right, apologies because I rambled on for so long. But Baz can cook, Lumi can cook, John de Valet can do a bit. Not Johnny Red Pill Seed. Sezu can cook. Rathchild cooks every day. Unchained can cook. Rags can. Pags can. Scorry. Adele can. Hello, Jeremy. Didn't know you were on the phone. Marco can. Emma. Jess is getting there. Mr. Paul's getting there. Mark's getting there. And Johnny's now added pizza. Well, if you make the dough and you make the, you know, if you make the dough, that I think that counts as making a meal. Tito can, Son of Max, sort of. I think the threes didn't want to admit it. They didn't want to lie by putting a 1, but they didn't want to admit it. How amazing. No, that's why I mentioned it, Jack. Because again, you know, we had home economics at school. They taught me nothing about cooking. They taught us how to make praline. What? Heat up sugar, cool down sugar. Thanks. Thanks for that. Nice lesson. That was it. I'll tell you what, bit of a bad story. Siobhan, when you say I've always had a good art, hear this. There was a kid in my class called Darren Butts. Now, already his life has been shit on by giving the surname Butts. But we were boiling up our sugar to make praline. If you don't know what praline is, it's sugar toffee. It's got no cream or milk. It's not caramel. It's brittle. It's horrible stuff. Just takes your teeth out. It's all right. So, you know, you can do nice things with it. It's quite good. You can make a spider web with it. And then when it cools down, you can tap it off. You make the spider web like on the back of a cold ladle. So you put your ladle in the freezer. And then when you've made your praline, you drip it onto the back of the cold ladle. And then you don't have to do it. You can do a spiral or a spider's web or a zigzag. And then just click it off and you've got it, and you put that on top of a bit of ice cream. But they didn't teach us that at school. They just taught us how to put a pan on a cooker and then take it off. But Darren Butts was on the cooker next to me and he said, how do you know when it's hot enough to take it off the heat? I went, just put your finger in it. He did. Poor bastard went. And I just thought, oh, he put his finger in it up to about there. Immediately rushed to hospital. Yeah, burnt the top of his finger nearly clean off. I'll tell you now, I didn't want to hurt him. I didn't think he'd do it. Yeah, just put your finger in it. And he fucking did. Ah! Ooh, I remember when they poured cold water on it and it all just dried, but then there was blowy. But yeah, if you're at least by 30, you should be able to cook. Ferrell is on the firm. Hello, mate. Good to see you. Ferrell can cook. What do you like cooking, Ferret? I don't know whether you're still called Ferret. I feel a little bit dodge calling you Ferret. I think once we might have been tripping and you got a bit funny with me about it. And I've never. Oi, do you remember when we went out, me, you and Ben Walker on acid and we had one of Nick's dogs and that car nearly hit it? And then we went in what was that boozer down the bottom of West Hill? And what was his name? Scott. I can't think of his surname. Big round moon face Scott was a DJ in there. And we've all gone in there thinking, we'll be all right, keep your heads down, like tripping. And Scott's seen me and he's playing Who Let the Dogs Out. And over it, he's gone, who let Dangerfield out? Ooh, ooh. And I was tripping thinking, nah. Shh. And then we went back to Nick's and there was some fella there going, I've got 30 grand in the drawer. Where's my fucking cocaine? And Nick's going, you might as well put a tent up in the front room, mate. He goes, because my mates made me take acid earlier and I ain't sorted nothing out. And I was like, made you? Hang on a minute. If I remember, you took the little vial of liquid acid off me and went glug, 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 glug. If that's made. Sal, do you remember? I think you were there when that bloke, he was getting proper narky. And I hid under the kitchen work surface next to the washing machine, in between the washing machine and the fridge. I can't remember exactly. There was a little gap and I could hear Nick and this bloke arguing. I don't know how Nick argued with him on acid. And I got in there and Ben Walker was just in the kitchen and Ben's gone, should we just go? He went, I can't handle this. I reckon there's going to be a shooting or something. And I went, and I was hiding in between these things under the work surface. And Ben went, I'm going. And he opened the back door and one of Nick's dogs went, and on acid, it must have looked like a bear. These dogs, people, they were monsters. And it just was chained up out the back. And Ben Walker, you never see someone shut the door. He turned round, pale as a ghost. He went, no, I think I'll stay here. Nick's then come into the kitchen. This bloke's still giving it. I've told you, there's 30 grand there. You said you'd have that fucking Charlie ready, and I ain't going till it's ready. And Nick's gone, look what you've done to him, mate. He's shivering under the work surface. I was just going, don't leave me out of it. Fucking hell, dramas, man. I do love that story, though. They were good times. Sally can cook. Oh my God, LC350 is a trained chef. Crispy dippers and chips. Who is it? What is it those people eat? Pockets. I had a mate who lived on them. They're like little horrible mass-produced pastry full of, I don't know, some byproduct. The stuff inside them looks like they scraped it up from the floor of a Domino's pizza. Oh, it might be pizza pockets, actually. Goat curry. Oh, that sounds nice. I'm a fan of the goat, but I'm also a fan of goat curry. So, you know. Absolutely, Moslab. Pags is, look at Pags. He's just listing them all. Look, goat curry, lasagna, jambalaya. Oh, wow. Anglo-Saxon used to be a cook and a butcher. You know what? I eat meat and that, but I am a little bit squeamish with it when I'm cutting up, like cutting the fat off of a steak or something, or handling any uncooked meat. I never quite settle. I always think about butchers and how, you know, that must be quite the job. I don't know. I don't know how you handle it, to be fair. Oh, no. You can. Just concentrate on one dish for a while. Don't spread, you know, just concentrate. Get one dish done, and then you'll be like, hang on, I know how to do it now. And you'll soon you won't need the measuring stuff. I mean, with things like cakes and bread, they need to be measured, but you can certainly, you know, get something simple sorted out and then move on to another one. And, you know, over a period of a couple of years, you'll have built up a few different recipes. I mean, I wouldn't expect people who are 22 to be able to cook. When I was a student, it was just rice and soy sauce. Roman style lamb, Sunday dinner. All right, Pags. Tagine. Oh, did I miss something from... Oh, God. What? Carter Cole, thanks for the super sticker. It would appear I missed it. But I can see it now, but you didn't get the screen glory you were after. It's nice to see you back around, actually, Carter. You've been missed. See you later, Rathschild. Thanks for hanging around. MCJ Dub Power reckons he could cook a different dish every day for a month. I couldn't. Not a chance. Not a chance. I remember I had a mate who got an apprenticeship at a butcher's, and the first day he came home, he said to me, he said, the human brain, he said, you'd think it'd be like jelly. He said, but it's like mashed potato. You can just your fingers through it. Not human brain, sorry, pig brain. And I was like, oh. Pagan can actually cook scouse. Isn't it some kind of porridge? Ray can cook. Good work. Look, Pags is still going. Biryani. Yeah, I agree. I absolutely agree. Let's get a one in the chat for those two. Absolutely wonderful people. There you go. Props to them. Oh, he didn't lose it after all. I'm right up the back. Is Skin Scar here? I can see that. Where is he? I've missed it. All right, so tonight's been a bit messy, people. I do apologise. I'm a bit worried that I won't sleep tonight now. Now it's 20 to 2 in the morning and I had a hour's power nap that wore me out. Is Skin Scar in here? Tapas. All right, Michael. Mrs. Me in it likes tonic suit. It's quite hard to get nice tonic cloth these days. because when you make cloth, you have to make a hell of a lot of it to make it cost effective, and there's not so much demand for tonic. But dogtooth's all right. I find it a bit migrainey. Anglo-Saxon has dropped another Lady Godiva. I think he has. I'm getting lost in all these numbers. Praline is a gateway drug. Praline, well, you put nuts in with the sugar. It's not just nuts, but admittedly, you're right. It's not just sugar. Well, I'm going to make a video. I'm going to make a video rather than a stream because I know it's not everyone's cup of tea. So I'm going to... LC350 made a cucumber sandwich for Prince Margaret. Ain't bad at all, is it? I am so far behind. I'm still looking for Skin Scar. Oh, are you new here? Nice to see you. Generic and unfunny. Likewise. You've just watched the car chase video. Yeah, that was a story and a half. Poor old Jamie. Jamie has popped up in a few other live streams since then because that story, he didn't disappear. Carter told his chemistry teacher that you can light your hand on fire with alcohol and it won't hurt, which is true. He did it and burnt himself. Our ethyl alcohol burns colder than isopropyl. Yeah, you're meant to use surgical spirit. I think in America you call it rubbing alcohol, but I didn't know that ethyl alcohol. Oh, hang on, I'm getting it all confused. But yeah, I understand what happened. He just burnt his hand. Nice chemistry teacher. Came in the next day, just bones hanging out his wrist. John's form class was a cookery room. Used to make a fry up for breakfast. Teacher comes in to take register. Used to do a nutting. Good Lord. I am so far behind. Okay, so ferret is off the menu. Apologies, Chris. Apologies. I did ask because I wasn't sure, and he's a blinding cook. It doesn't surprise me, really. It doesn't surprise me at all. Willow trained to be a chef for a year. Did you get anything out of it? Did you ever work as a chef? Carter started gardening because he learned cooking. That's interesting, isn't it? That is very interesting. You suddenly thought, well, if I'm going to be cooking, I might as well start growing my own veg. The garden my girlfriend has got out in the provinces, they're growing a lot out there. Loads of Cambodian vegetables that I don't know what are called, but also papaya, pineapples, melons. It's like, wow. You remember it well. I remember you hiding in the kitchen. It was a simple exchange that felt like, yeah, I think the acid... He was being a bit shitty, that bloke. I remember, I don't want to say too, well, actually, no, I won't go there because that, no, but I'll talk to you in private sometime. But yeah, I think when you don't know what's going on and when Nick starts shouting and the other bloke was shouting, I thought, yeah, this isn't tripping. We went out, didn't we? We went back out. And Nick said to him, you'll just stay there. And you were there thinking, I don't want him here. I remember he stitched me up so many times, your fella. I remember we were at Glastonbury once and he had two phones. We were tripping. He had a mobile on each ear and he was going, I don't know. What? And he went, Worthington. I was like, yeah. And I knew what was going to happen. And he went, sort it out. And I was like, what? And this bloke was going, I told him, I've got 50 key of this sitting here, and he told me a beer. And I was like, we're at Glastonbury, mate. And then I ended up putting the phones together. I thought, I'll let them talk to each other. They can sort it out amongst themselves. I looked round at Nick. He was just looking around, oblivious. Why he thought I'd be able to add to it, I don't know. That's it. Hot Pockets. God, that's how far behind in the chat I am. It would appear I've missed a super chat from Anglo-Saxon. Let me find that one. Good Lord. Sorry, people. I've really... Carter Cole's got another super sticker since I've been gibbering. Let me find Anglo-Saxon's other donation, because I'm going to have to hoof it off of Entropy. You can't make a donation and not get... Oh, hang on. He's now done another one. You're helping, but I'm trying to catch up here. Anglo-Saxon says, our man in the cam. I like the sound of that. That's never been said before. A new scrubism has appeared. But Anglo-Saxon also sent another super chat that I missed while I was getting lost in stories of cocaine deals gone wrong and LSD. But Anglo-Saxon also said, by using the magic of computing, he also said, I've got the wrong one. Yeah, nobody's perfect. I'm having problems tonight, and jeez. Hang on. Right, it's that one. Here we go. Here we go. Our man in the cam is great. What am I doing? I haven't got a clue. Good Lord. I might have to delete this stream. There you go. He also said, you always put a smile on my boat. Appreciate it. That's very kind. That's kind of what I'm here for. That's, tell a few stories, have a look at what's going on in the world. I did go down a different path for a while, but I'm kind of done with all that stuff now. This is more me. This is more me. Thank you, Anglo-Saxon. You've been very generous. Carter's going to paint. Is that by numbers? Now, someone... little slap there before you left. Take care, Carter. Get Carter. You know what, Hans? I watched the documentary about Anthony Bourdain called Roadrunner. And I watched it during my digital detox. I downloaded about 30 movies. I know that's strictly still digital, but it's not, social media. And I'd read Anthony Bourdain's book, Kitchen Confidential. One in the chat if you've read Kitchen Confidential. And I'll tell you what, I loved it. I loved reading Kitchen Confidential. I read it when I was traveling around England once. One day I just went off on a 2-week journey around England. Like I planned nothing, just jumped on trains and bed and breakfasts. What? Good Lord. And I read Kitchen Confidential and it was really good. It was really, really good. So I watched the documentary about him. And at the beginning, they say, this don't end well. He hung himself. But it's actually quite a good documentary. I actually, Bed and Circuses. It has been, hasn't it? It's been kind of messy. Well, I was half hour late, Rise of the Right, so you're only actually an hour and a half late. And I'm still gibbering. I think I'll do a little bit longer to make up for being late. But having said that, I don't know if I've got a lot more else to say. Yeah, one in the chat if anyone read Kitchen Confidential, or did I already say that? And no one else has read it, which I suppose from a selection of the public of 90 people, that's not necessarily unusual. Yeah, very interesting bloke. I'm not so good because I had I've had a few weeks off work as well as the digital detox, and I came back to work this week, and it came on top pretty quickly. I don't talk too much about work because it involves other people's lives, and that's their private lives. But it really heavy stuff, not just day-to-day stuff. And so it was a bit of a re-baptism of fire. See you later, Tech Roach. Take care, mate. And hello, Wolfie. And then tonight after work, I thought I set up the stream. I thought I'll set the stream up a couple of hours early so that more people can see it rather than my last minute thing that I usually do. And then I had a little lay down, and I think I had a dream that I was late for somewhere. And I woke up and thought, oh, shit. And I looked at the clock and I couldn't even focus. So I couldn't even work out the time. I thought, oh, hang on, it's only 10:30. And then it wasn't 22:30, it was 23:30. And not being totally awake has certainly expressed itself many times during this stream. Well, someone says something very interesting in the documentary Roadrunner. And he knew Bourdain since they were younger, since they were junkies. And he said the problem with Anthony Bourdain is when he gave up the tackle, he never done anything about the reasons that got him into it. Junk is a painkiller. And so what he done was just put all that kind of trauma or whatever into his work. Willow, I heard that, but is there any actual, I think that's been taken out of context. I'm not, I haven't seen anything that would suggest that's actually what he meant. I'm not defending him, maybe he did, but I've heard it said before, but I've not seen it backed up. Well, yeah, but not when you're streaming. not when you're trying to entertain, and And of course, now I'm a bit concerned that after the stream, I'll be a bit too awake to get to sleep. But I am pumped that the Jake Paul fight is on this weekend, and I also didn't know that it was Friday tomorrow. I haven't been keeping an eye on the days, which means not so much work, and then I can get on. I can get on with my novel, and I will. If I get on with my novel, I'll what's the word? It's certainly not that. This isn't sign language for the word. I will reward myself by watching that fight. See you later, Baz. Take care. See you later, La. I think I'm out of here too, people. I've been talking for 2.5 hours. It feels like I'm just going like that now. Johnny says I should get a Substack. Well, it's funny you mentioned that, Johnny, because I've got one. Is there anyone who doesn't know what a Substack is? Well, I'll tell you. It's a writing platform. And I've already got about 8 stories on there. And you sign in, and you sign up, and you get 2 new stories emailed to you every month. There's the link. There you go, John. I anticipated your question. Thanks, Liam. But there you go. If you haven't already signed up, you've only got to put your email in and you get 2 of my original stories sent to you each week. They're short, so only like 3,000-4,000 words. And they're quite interesting. They're not edited though. They're I can't afford an editor for Substack. Emma G's just turned up. Been out for the day with the kids, just catching up. Well, it's about to end. Yeah, but Hans, the shorts aren't it's free. Substack's free. But the link to the novel will be on the Substack. That's my sneaky plan. But nice to see you, Emma, anyway. I hope you're all right. Right. Let's find a bit of music. Well, I hope it wasn't too disturbing tonight. I hope I managed to perform a semblance of a stream. Right, thank you all for bearing with me. Bear with me. I hope you're all bearing with me. It's been fun for me anyway. Sincere apologies about missing the beginning. Thank you, everyone who watched the stream. That makes a difference because it didn't feel like it. Although we had some laughs. Thanks to everyone who watched. Thanks to everyone who engaged in the chat. Thanks to everyone who donated. Again, tomorrow I'll either make a video or stream. I might do both because I want to write over the weekend. Although a stream over the weekend gives me a little break from the writing. So you'll definitely get something tomorrow. A stream. Hello, Patrick. Didn't know you were lurking. You're nice one, Unchained. You'll definitely get a video or a stream. Maybe both tomorrow. So we'll go out with my favourite song by my friend Paul Mumford at the moment. You've heard it before. It's probably etching itself into your brains. You can find him on YouTube searching Paul Mumford. It's a picture of the bloke with the hat on. I'll put your messages on the screen and I will see you in some form or other tomorrow. Enjoy the rest of your night. Thank you all. You're really wonderful people. Remember what's important in life and make sure you tell the people that you love them because they need to hear it. Take care. Ta-da. I forgot to put the audio on again. You nearly got nothing again. Oh, good Lord. Even getting out of here, I screwed it. Right, let's try again. Ta-da!
Tell your daddy you're fighting good. Feel the glory he said you would. Tell your mama you're coming home. That deafening drone. But you'll realize you've been sold when you feel the enemy's cold hard steel. Feel the dawn of your final day.
Yeah, I'm running out too. Your girlfriend loves it.
Go anyway. Get right in that big black plane. Kill the conscience along your brain. But you'll realize you've been sold when you feel the enemy's cold hard steel. Cause the wheels already been rolled when you feel the enemy's cold hard steel. Oh Lord.
Great point.
Do whatever they tell you to. Tell yourself it ain't really you. But when the slaughtering has begun, you'll be murdering someone's son. And you'll realize you've been sold when you feel the enemy's cold heart steel.
Oh, Shed have had a laugh tonight, mate, without a doubt.
Oh, Lord. Yes, you'll realize you've been sold when you feel the enemy's cold heart steel. Oh, Lord. 'Cause the wheels are already being rolled when you feel the enemy's cold heart steel. Oh, Lord. Hey.
Go on, go and play down your own end, or you're going to feel some of that around your chops. Go on. Ta-da!